What they did was they perpetrated a match that they smelled the oil in the well. They were so markish for themselves, Moxley and Olivier. They thought they could do this. And Tony Khan, because this is right up his basement booking alley. On an EFED, I could have had an exploding match, and now I get to actually have it in person. That they overlooked what was going to happen that I informed them of 2 weeks beforehand. The same goddamn thing that happens every time they try to do shit like this in the wrestling business. It's not fucking Hollywood. It's not a movie. And it's going to be a popcorn fart. And that's what happened. And we played the tape last week. I'm not going to do it again and rub it in even further, but could I have? It was like I was in a time machine and described it perfectly. How am I describing the shit that happens in their company perfectly, and they spend the time and effort and the money to go through all this, and they don't know how it's going to turn out? Because they're fucking stupid, that's why. Because they smell the goddamn gas in the water well and think it's fucking oil. So now they're trying to blame the heels. Now they're trying to have the heels come out and get heat, which might work also if it was a free television show instead of a $50 pay-per-view that the company advertised was going to end with a ring blowing up. Fucking hell. And did you see somebody? What was they said? They ought to call him, instead of Twinkle Toes McFinger Bang, they ought to call him Twinkle Toes No Ring Bang. Because he can't blow up a ring, just his inflatable opponents.
Tony Khan really blew it with how he managed that right after the event. All he had to do was say, it wasn't what we had hoped for. We're going to do better. That's all he had to say. Instead, he made everything worse by immediately, and you can go back and listen to the thing where it's kind of like a forced laugh. Like, Kenny's cartoon with crayons didn't really, it's forced. You can hear it.
Well, and also, did you hear the backstage report that apparently Twinkle Toes was furious, was the quote, furious backstage? Can you imagine watching Harpo Fingerfuck lose his temper?
No.
God damn.
I've been watching this guy in the ring for a long time. I have no idea what he would look like.
Yeah, that's why I'd love to see it. Would he do the phone sex promo voice? Well, you guys, you can't even blow up a ring. You've destroyed my artistic career. God, I'm wondering, sometime they've got Bar Brady interviewing for him. Old Alex Marvez, they ought to bring spooky-voiced podcaster in to interview Omega, to where they can both sit there and breathe heavy at each other and maybe hold each other's noses so they talk. Anyway, here's what Tony Khan could have done besides the fact he's a fucking billionaire and this goddamn company isn't run like many wrestling promotions in the past on baling wire and glue from week to week. He could have just come out and said, you know what? We will never use those pyro people again, and everybody that bought this thing gets a $10 off coupon on the next pay-per-view, and people would have been fine.
People would have been really happy with that. That's the kind of response you want. But here's a show that's on TNT. It's named Dynamite, and they could blow up nothing.
They can't blow their nose. They can't. Poof. 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 Anyway, should we? God damn it. Dynamite.
TNT.
TNT. I'm TNT. I'm Dynamite.
Poof.
Poof.
I want to one day hear Eddie Kingston, when he leaves there, do an interview. What were you thinking when you were on top of Moxley covering him? And, he wasn't looking up, so he just had to go based on what he was hearing. Did he know? Did he know just the level of...
No! I guarantee you he didn't know. That's why if he'd have known, he would have looked up and had the shocked face like, oh shit, I'm okay. He would have, to save himself, he would have done that. But no. He put his head down because he thought the goddamn thing's going to blow up. They're going to be fucking covered in napalm.